showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor. Y'all, check it out, y'all.
Here's a bonus. You heard it before.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Serving that heat. Now turn me up. GCOM Radio.
Living like Don Cheetos, sipping up on mojitos. Feel like a drug dealer selling kilos. Money come and go, I just reload. Eating dinner at Clio. Went to Punta Cana, almost drowned in the casino. Lost my wedding ring, good thing my wife didn't peep though. Cause we know, yeah, it would've been murder, she wrote. Never ego tripping, keep the soul like I'm Neo. Me and Dylan Josh, still a trio like the Migos. Summertime on the rooftop, chilling out in the boondocks. Playing tunes off a jukebox, sipping out of a juice box. Used to be in church with the tube sock. Saturday cartoon, Jimmy Neutron. My bed was a futon. Mama using Groupon. We was getting our hoop on. Busy had the two-tone. Jesus peace with the roof on. Taking flights, I'm too flown. Visit my granny tombstone. Trainee family, I'm homegrown. Blowing O's out this ozone. Flow Frio is cold stone. Trying to reach a milestone. These hoes get the dial tone. Numbers rising like Dow Jones. Still bump that Jim Jones. I always stay 10 toes. Niggas quick to switch, no Nintendo. What you saying, yo? Human. Remember days I used to go to church and take communion. Now I wake up early every morning for the union. Me and Bay just made 2 years on our union. Thankful for the blessing that the Lord just keep on doing. Had my permit for 5 years and had to renew it. 25 ain't still ain't got my license, what I'm doing. So fucking indecisive, I'm just trying to keep it righteous. I don't know why I am like this, I just wanna do what's right though. Should be getting me tight though, hit the blunt like it's nitro. We was never the type though, be a part of the hype though. It's ISO, got it covered like Geico. Fuck going viral, I'd rather listen to vinyls. Now Ja playing for Jacksonville, rolling up the catch and fill. Youngest fiending to catch a kill, taking lines and they popping pills when shit be at a standstill. Life been going downhill, trying to live like I'm Grand Hill, but I ain't got a record deal. Gotta pay the electric bill, rent due, some other bills. Won't stop till my dreams fulfill. I'm real like $2 bills. I believe in God's will. Don't tell me my cuz mentally ill. Them doctors stupid for real. The truth is always revealed. We was just playing the field. That's why I walk with my shield. No Achilles, but we on your heels. And niggas know the drill, but they told me time heals. So till then, I'ma sit back and plot on these mills. You heard? How so? Addict, conscious, you. God bless, one time, nigga.
Yo, what is the deal, y'all? What is going on? This is Nova Phoenix, host of GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio, and we are back here to serve another episode to y'all. You just listened to ISO Indies coming back with that bonus track, and their song is called Time Heals. Time Heals. Loving them. Want to hear some more music. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I don't know where y'all at. What is going on? Yeah, man, that was ISO Indies, man. Mad flavors. So, yeah, let's get the show started. A lot of things has to be said this episode that I got to get off my chest that I've heard over the week, the 7 days. And let's see what's going on. You know, I got to get my camera. How come I'm trying to get my time so I can stay on time. I don't flow over too much, and it has started. All right. So what is the news for that I noticed for the week? It's probably old stuff. Kodak Black, man. This is Kodak Black, that young brother, man. 3 joints. He just got 3 joints, 3 years in prison, man, on weapons charges. This 22-year-old, his real name is Bill K. Capri. In August, he made false statements on trying to get some firearms from a federally licensed firearms dealer. This dude was locked up since, I think, August. Let me see here. Yeah, man, he was locked up since August. And it's unfortunate that this dude, he got locked up right before he was supposed to perform in May at the Rolling Loud Music Festival. And he's been locked up ever since, man. And he got bagged up before at Niagara Falls trying to enter the United States, caught with weapons again. And yo, listen, it just goes to show, man, you know, artists need guidance, man. Not their whole crew has to be with, and you know, that's what it is. They get on, they from the streets, and they're knuckleheads, man. They're knuckleheads, and they, you know, you give them some notoriety and some money. They think their knuckleheadedness is how you're supposed to be, and it's not. And it's supposed to, it's expected from the youth. But that's why it's important for you to have some level-headed, non-yes man people in your crew and some older folk to say, man, this is not the way to go. You're going to get bagged up. They're looking for you. They're looking for you. They're looking for anything that they can bag you on and make you an example and put you on TV. Kodak Black has got 3 joints, and he's got a couple years where he has to be on good behavior. It's unfortunate. So, the Joker passed $1 billion. That's a little. I just want to say some words to Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola for saying that comic book movies are nothing but what did he say? Theme parks. That was not the Joker, man. That was not the Joker. It was a real introspective. I want to say introspective, but layered movie on the storyline on the Joker character, and there was no bombs and explosions and guns and superhero-ness going on. Just trying to peel back who the Joker is and why the Joker would be who he is, and it made $1 billion. And now you know it's going to on its way to get an Oscar, right? Come on now. Come on, Joaquin, let's get it. Let's show them. And, shout out to Francis Ford Coppola and to Martin Scorsese. They put out some pretty dope movies in their day. But, never want to act like comic book movies can't be more than Marvel or any, eye candy type of flick. It can be deep. And they already know it because Batman did it. I don't know how they could say that. It's Christopher Nolan already kind of hammered down where a comic book movie should go. But, more pops. And hopefully Warner Brothers gets an idea from this. They kind of messed up Justice League. And hopefully if they want to take this to WB Black and make an offshoot brand on some more serious material, rated R, be my guest, man. We got to show people that comic book movies can be some serious business. Next one is 50 Cent, man. 50 Cent, was trying to clown the Tory Norton. The Tory Norton that is I think Tasha on Power, because her hairline was kind of crazy. Now, the cats out there gonna make jokes, but you as the executive producer of the show, don't clown your staff, bro. I mean, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. It just shows that it shows maturity. Number one, it shows a lack of maturity, and number two, it shows that it's not the way to go, man. Leave that to the side. You want to joke? Look, people gonna crack jokes. They gonna crack jokes, no doubt. But come on, man, have some cool. You in the business of movies. You wear the suit like a man, bro. I don't understand why he was getting at them. Maybe they got beef behind the scenes and he thought it was an opportunity to crack on her. Maybe so. But you can't give 50 no direction on that. He gonna do what he gonna do. But I wasn't really feeling that. But it is what it is. The Tory keep pushing. Move on. You know what I mean? Maybe they made up after this. Who knows? But I thought that it lacked taste. Motorola, man. Motorola RZA is coming back. I love the Motorola. Motorola is dropping a new phone, and it's with a bendable screen. And it's in direct competition with that Samsung Galaxy Fold that was $2,000. And that was a clusterfuck release, because that thing kept breaking. But it looks like this Motorola RZA with the bendable screen is something to look at, man. If you want to see more, go to CNET and watch the managing editor Jessica Dole-Court do a rundown of the Motorola RZA. I'm an Apple person. I love Apple, but man, there's a lot of competition out there, man. And Motorola is one. Man, it's a lot of competition. Let's see how it goes with this bendable screen. See how many times people fold in and it starts to crack. You got to put it through the ring of fire out in the public. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's get on with the show. On the first segment. The first segment, what is the deal? It's about Jay, the NFL, and Colin Kaepernick, and everybody knows what's going on. So last week, it came out on Twitter that NFL was reaching out to Colin Kaepernick to do a workout, him as a free agent. to see if he could get him signed. So I thought it was, maybe, hey man, that's pretty cool. You know, they NFL wants to give him, you know, turn a new leaf and say, okay, we did wrong. We kind of, you know, we messed up. Let's see if we can give this dude another shot. And I'm like, all right, cool, you know, whatever. I wasn't really getting into it being on a Saturday and breaking it down. I just said, let's see what comes out of it. And everybody was saying, you know, Jay got something to do with it, you know, with Roger Goodell, boom, 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 him being part of the NFL now. And he was getting a lot of, you know, being that he was getting a lot of heat for that. But it turns out that it was all a sham, a flimity flam. That they had this dude, they said he wanted to go down to the Falcons, what do you call it, the stadium, toss a ball around. They're going to have people there. You know, they wanted them to split you know, they was going to do the whole gamut. But it turns out that, you know, Colin Kaepernick's team was like, listen, all right, I want you to sign this piece of paper saying that, you know, you're not going to hold me. What they say, let me see what it's saying. The NFL General Counsel, Jeff Pash, wanted him to sign a waiver to absolve the NFL from any ongoing violation of his rights. And that was kind of at the last minute. And then, you know, Colin's people was like, hell no, we're not going to do that. We're going to sign any paperwork. I'm going to toss this ball around and see if I can do it. Matter of fact, I want my own cameras there. And I don't want any, you know, craziness that's happening, any sneaky business. NFL said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to have any cameras in there. Actually, they did say they wanted some Falcons people, I guess team, to have their own cameras there. He said, you know what, let's have the mass media there. Let's have the media people in there so we can have total transparency. The NFL said, no, we're not going to do that. But you're going to sign all this at the bottom of the dotted line on this paperwork to, you know, on some legal matters of the whole thing. Wasn't happening. So based on that, all the whole thing, you know, on Colin's girl Nessa from Hot 97, she put out the statement of how they're already ready to get this business going, and you know, they're totally open and they want to see what happens. He's been ready for the last 3 years, but you know, he's been dodged for the last 3 years, whatever. I thought that the whole case that Colin had was basically him, you know, washing their hands for the whole thing, and that they colluded to keep him out the game, and he was moving on, but I guess the channels are still open for him to come back. So anyway, because all his business was going down, he decided to move the workout over to a high school football field. And he invited, of course, he's going to have his own camera people there. And yeah, man, it was just BS. You know, it was just a whole flim-flam sham to try to get Colin Kaepernick to sign some paperwork, because the NFL felt that he was still able to go after them legally and press charges to say that, you know, to say that collusion was a part of it, and he could seek out more money out of the whole deal. So they were trying to checkmate him, and it did not work. And now, as far as the NFL is concerned, I thought that was a bad move. I don't know who was in a round circle in the NFL upper management to think that this was a good thing, because it totally blew up in their face, and they got all the egg on. They had a whole 12-egg carton all smashed over their head about how this whole thing went about, because all you did was prove to the fact that the NFL did collude to keep Colin Kaepernick out of the game because of his own beliefs, and they continue to do so by trying to do this craziness. It's unreal to me that this is still happening. You know, even after all this came out, that they would try to do some bullshit to try to get this dude to sign some paperwork so they could be totally legally free from any future possible law. Look, if you would have just let the guy in, my thing is, the best thing you could do is let the guy in. Let him play. If he wants cameras, if he wants his own cameras, his own media people, you could have your media people there. Give him a shot. Why not? Right? Why not? Look at it like this. You kept him out the game for the last 3 years. It did not work for you. It did not work. So what would it be told? How should I say? How bad could it be if you were to let him into the game to play as a quarterback for whatever team? How bad could it be for ticket sales? It's already bad already with you keeping him out the game. You might as well try the other half. You might as well let him play to see what happens. But no, they don't do that. They get this dude, whatever, Jeff Posh, to try to, get him in on some craziness. So, I don't know. I personally think it don't look good for Jay. Jay went into this whole thing and he joined the NFL with Roger Goodell. You saw that whole piece with him sitting down and, glad-handed and laughing and him trying to say, well, where do we go from here? And he was going to be a part of this whole Inspired Change initiative that focuses on advancing social and racial justice. And, people were picking apart what Jay said. I think it looks terrible on Jay's part, even if he had nothing to do with it. Because now you have the NFL doing all this thing that Colin Kaepernick put up this whole freaking circus for him to show up on a Saturday. And, all the news sources were saying it doesn't make sense for him to show up on a Saturday because no coach is going to, look at Colin Kaepernick because they're trying to get played. They're trying to concentrate on the games that's going to be played on Sunday. The best day to do it is on Tuesday so they can fill out or have time to fill out the roster for the players the following week. So all this thing was a flim-flam. Only people that probably knew that whole thing was on the inside were the coaches and the players and the administration, all this. But the people, as me a part of the people, I thought, hey, sure, why not? I mean, let's see what happens. I don't know if there was going to be some, special deal. Hey, let's just do it. And they're making, some favors and to pull some people in. I don't know what could have happened. But it makes Jay look bad because this whole thing went down. And the whole point of Jay taking that heat when he was sitting in that conference room table with all the cameras in there, talking about how the NFL is going to move forward with Jay being a part of it. And now what this to happen, it's like it makes him look bad. It makes him look bad now. Because all people are going to say, see, Jay, you joined that thing and you with Roger Goodell and you say this was going to happen and that was going to happen and you're going to do this and look how they playing Colin. It makes him look bad, whether he's involved with it or not. Now Jay got to explain himself. Now, of course, like one side is going to say, well, Jay ain't got to say nothing. He got to say something because they're going to get at him and through whatever media portal, whether it's allhiphop.com or the Daily News or New York Times, and they're going to confront Jay and be like, what do you feel about this whole thing that what happened with Colin? Now he's got to, juggle the words and you gonna have to play to Roger and you have to play to his fans and he gotta play to the bit. It's crazy. It makes him look crazy. And from the Jay point, I'll be slapping my forehead to be like, damn, why'd I had to get into all this? Because I was getting into it for a specific reason to move things forward. And whoever had this happen, making me look fucked up and making me look, and especially looking fucked up in front of my fans, my core fans, that I was co-signing this. Or they gonna joke on me saying, so you see, you was doing all that, and look what they doing outside of your understanding, or what you knew, or what you didn't know. Look what they doing. You know what I mean? So I don't know how Jay's gonna make out with this one. This is gonna be an interesting look when they, put a camera and mic in his face. My personal opinion with Colin Kaepernick, based on this is my thought. Colin, time to just give it up, bro. Yeah, I think you the man. You did your thing in the NFL. You are a above the line, on par quarterback. But obviously there's some biases and racism in the league. And I think you have the notoriety. You're not financially destitute. You do have dough. You have the connects. You can do anything at this point. You can get in whatever business that you want to get into. You could pull favors. You could get in whatever that you want. And the NFL is not the end game. As much as you want to be a part of the NFL, I think that door is closed and you have to move on. You can still talk about the NFL and its bias and its racism and how they locked you out the game. Nobody's stopping you from talking about it. But it's time to now, I think personally, to turn the page, the next chapter on this part of your life. And I'm sure Nessa going to support you. All your friends, your family going to support you. But now at this point, it's time to move on, because it's just, to me, it's like you're in a hamster wheel just running for no reason, trying to get back in the NFL. All they're gonna do is play games with you, and once you're in, and if you get a minor injury, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy can't play." It's the NFL is never gonna let it go. And you know, it's funny to me. Obviously, look, I say it like this: it's funny to me whenever you dealing with racism and injustice and bigotry and systemic racism in any field that you're in. Once you catch out these racists with their hands out, catch them red-handed in the racist acts that they do, oh, they hate that. They hate getting called out. It emboldens them. They're like, what? I can't believe you caught me. Nah, I'm not going to let it go. They're not going to let it go, bro. Time and time again, when racist people get caught out there, they never let it go. So as much as you think they're gonna offer you a fig leaf and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna let you in, like they had an epiphany, be like, oh, we were all wrong. You know what, Colin? Come on in. No, they're not gonna do that, man. They're gonna try to make it a circus. They're gonna try to make you look bad. Let you sign off paperwork, and they're gonna try it, bro. I think it's time to move on. You did your thing. I just wish that there were people in the league that stood with you, because what are they going to do when the whole league stands with you? But that's the unfortunate part about capitalism and individualism. Nobody is going to stand and stand beside you, even though excluding the folks that did stand with Colin. The majority of the people are not going to do it. They're going to be like, I'm trying to get my bag. And that's the unfortunate part. But yeah, man, I think it's time to just peace, deuces, good looking. You know what I mean? All right, so we're going to get into the we're going to get into the first song. So we're going to listen to Laryss, man. Love her voice. Laryss would Look Up. And we got following up right behind it is Tay the Dawn with Oblivion. Two nice songs. So listen to these joints.
Not an ocean that's too wide.
Hey, turn it up. GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
When you really want to get to someone, you'll do anything, right? Not a mountain that's too high when you can climb. Gotta get to you. I'ma get to you. Gonna get to you. Really wanna get to you. If you're down, just look up. I'm around, just look up. I'll be there. Just look up. If you're down, just look up. I'm around, just look up. I'll be there. Just look up. Last time that we talked, I was surprised. 'Cause you didn't seem like yourself. Did you need anything? Anything? I'm down for the ride. 'Cause you and I gotta get to you. If you don't just look up, I'm around, just look up. I'll be there. So just look up. If you're down, just look up. I'm around, just look up. I'll be there. Just look up. Look up. Everybody needs somebody, and I'll be somebody you need. Everybody needs somebody, and I know you got me.
Ooh, a GCOM exclusive.
A lot of things been going bad for a while now. Voices in my head telling me that I should stop now. And I've been trying to see why you shifted your energy. I could only hope that it's only me. It's like, should I leave? Do I pursue? Cause I'm getting distant vibes when I'm with you. Every time we go to dinner, you'll be acting different. Conversation short and you don't even listen. I guess that's the closure I needed, baby. We both can see how we hurt each other, baby. I love you no matter how bad this gets. My heart is telling me no, but my mind is telling me go. This relationship we can mend it. If that's a part of your interest, and she said I love you, but I hate you too. You toxic for me, that's why I came with you. But then again, you're too good, just like an angel. You treat me just like you should. Sometimes it sound way too good. Am I replaceable?
Sounding off around the world. You are listening to GCOM Radio.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, that was Laryss with Look Up. And following right behind this lovely lady is Tay the Don with Oblivion. Two dope songs, man. I'm looking forward to hearing some new music from them. Before we continue with the second segment in our topic, you know what we have to get into this week is Business of the Week. And I know you like this, because I certainly did. Hear this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, for that girl.
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders. It's what you've been waiting for.
Being a cartoon watcher for most of my life, I've noticed two things. The lack of diversity in cartoons and the lack of representation whenever period pieces as settings were done in animation. The characters just didn't look like me. Even with a growing understanding of the people being African in ancient Egypt, we still don't have honest portrayals in the cartoon business. Here is Black Sands Entertainment. The founders of the company, husband and wife, Manuel Godoy and Giselle Godoy, they have entered into a market where there is a desperate need of honest, fun representation. After getting a degree in economics, Mr. Godoy decided to look into production in ways to utilize his skills in finance. At the same time, his wife entered the writing side, focusing on family. Since 2017, Black Sands Entertainment has sold over 10,000 books they alone self-published. Some titles are Kids to Kings, Sons of Nibiru, Nori's Family Adventures, and more. Right now, they're working on an animation showing black characters as amazing ancient superheroes set in an ancient Egyptian backdrop. Hopefully, we will see the much-needed work in the near future. Go to blacksandsentertainment.com for more info. All right, so we're going to get into the second segment of the show. So this one is on a podcast that I saw, a famous podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Love his show. I watch it every time I have a chance to get. And this interview, of course, was the almighty RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. Shout out to RZA and all of Wu-Tang, man. I'm a big fan. I'm still watching that show, Wu-Tang Clan, early on Hulu. And I'm just loving it. It's just nostalgic. It's, yeah, man, it's just to see how those cats came up on Staten Island, Shaolin, to become Wu-Tang. I thought that was a beautiful thing, man. So shout out to RZA. So RZA was a guest on Joe Rogan's show. And I forgot what the name or the title of that clip that was on YouTube. Matter of fact, it's right here. It's RZA breaks down the cost of making music with Joe Rogan, and also who was on there was Donnell Rollins, funny dude, Ashley Larry. So yeah, that was shout out to Ashley Larry too. So so Joe Rogan is talking to RZA on the current state of music, and it was also kind of butts up on what I was talking about last week when I was doing the media day for the Black and Blue movie with Tyrese Gibson and Naomi on the show. And there was one little piece that didn't make the show that I put a little clip on my IG channel where he says that there's no money in the music business, so that's why I'm doing movies. And that kind of inspired me again. Everybody knows how I feel about music streaming, that it doesn't pay artists anything. Only artists that are getting away with making some sort of revenue stream on music streaming is the major A-listers, like Taylor Swift or Kanye or somebody like that. So RZA continues on with the show, and he said music streaming is devaluing the music, the illegal downloads. And he was talking about when Napster came out, and I talked about it before. And if I haven't, I have a special one. We're just going to talk about the history of hip hop and music and illegal downloading and how it kind of disrupted the music business. So he's saying at the time around 2000, around that time, 2010, 2015, Napster came out, and everybody was sharing music. All the major artists is like, this is BS, this is crazy, we don't like what's happening, and people were getting sued, and they were suing individual people from Napster. And it was just not Napster, it was like a bunch of other websites that you could go online and download with P2P sharing and kind of download all music and singles and stuff like that. Look, I know people that was doing it. Even back then I was trying to convince them, listen, this is not the business, man. You're taking money out of artists' mouths, man, or out of their pocket, taking food out of their mouths and keeping money out of their pocket. But people didn't listen. They were like, nah, man, it's for free. Nah, shit. And I kind of understood that, because if you think that they didn't mention on the Joe Rogan show, at the time, the music business was getting away with a whole lot. Because at the time when kind of Napster kind of started gaining momentum, it was when CDs were like $23, $24, $25. And they would say that the CDs were $24.99, but if you get it right now, you get it for $20 or $19.99 or something. I was like, wait a second, if I don't catch a sale, I'm gonna have to pay $25 for a 15-song, 18-song CD, and I only want it for the single, or I only can hear 2 or 3 songs that I were hot. Remember when they started putting kiosks in the music stores, because people were like, I'm not paying something and I can't even hear the album. And they sort of the music stores was like, you know what, okay, cool, we're gonna put in these kiosks. You can listen to the whole album, you can stay there as long as you want, and you had a row of headphones that were on these in front of these panels where you could just skim through the music. There were buttons where you could listen, skim through the music, and people would be there for like a good hour and a half. Now, me personally, I was just going through the, listen to the song halfway, skipping it, because I want to get right. So they trying to say, all right, here, you can listen to the music. If you like it, you can buy the CD. But still, at that time, Napster and all these other sites were gaining momentum, and people would rather go online and take the music instead of buying it. So it's kind of a protest from the music, from the fans versus the music industry. So, there was one thing that RZA didn't mention, and I'll play this right here. Matter of fact, I got it. Listen to this clip right here.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me express. You got it right. From my point of view, music was being devalued, right,
through streaming services,
by society, right?
But how so?
Now through streaming, of course.
Right. Illegal downloads.
Illegal downloads. Right. If you want to, let's talk a little bit of business. I won't go too deep. I'll give me 2 minutes of business. All right. So let's just take Napster, right? Who's the founder of this type of technology, right? And he takes millions of songs and gives them away. And then now people are getting all these songs for free. Now the music industry, like any other industry, has a certain quota of business it does every year. Like every other industry, right? Whether it's $4 billion a year or $5 billion a year, it's an industry of a group of people, and that's their yearly quota. So if Napster comes, right, And he takes all these songs where all these people who are waiting for their publishing checks, waiting for their economics to be created from music, now there's no publishing check. All the numbers are now decreased because there's no physical sale of your music for us to accumulate a value to send you a check. But then at the end of the day, after he does that, he gets $1 billion. So now you're talking what belongs to, let's say there's 1,000 artists that's worth value as far as, that sell records that you could say accumulate money, right? So we took the power of 1,000 and put it in one man's hand, okay? So that's one of the first mistakes as an industry we make. And then the second mistake we make is that now there's services going and there's illegal downloads and people won't pay $1 for the record. Right? And for an album, you're going to pay $10 to $12 for an album. Even let's say it was $20, you won't pay that. But you'll pay $300, $400 for your headphones,
right.
$200, $300 for your iPod or your phone, and you're using it for music.
Okay, so Riz is right. Sharing music, like how Napster did, decreased the value of music, destroyed the revenue streams created from it, because you have to understand the publishing aspect, the mechanical royalties that you would get when music was sold out of the stores. That was a big part of the money that you would get from your publishing. That took a major hit when people started sharing. So I have no problem with what RZA was saying. So in that aspect, the music take a hit. So listen to this other clip.
Well, the best way in the past was physical, but now the industry has figured out how to monetize the digital streaming. So now things are starting to rebalance. But during this period of time, maybe within the last 3-4 years, it's starting to rebalance. But you look at from 2000 to 2015, it's a total unbalance. Right. And a lot of artists had to stop making music because there's no economics in it. Now, a group like the Wu-Tang Clan, right? So let's just say the average verse for a Wu rapper, let's say, let me get 16. He might be, yeah,
Tell him, he don't know what 16 is, tell him.
Yeah, 16.
Okay,
16 bars.
16.
Let's say Meth say, throw me 20 cents for that, right? Okay.
20,000, Joe.
Okay. So now let's just say he got 10 verses on this album. You know what I mean? Let's say every other Wu member do the same. So to get an album made, it may cost $1 million. A studio session is up to, let's say at the cheapest level, $100 an hour. You do a 12-hour block out. That's another $1,000 a day just to get into the studio. Then you got your engineer. So it costs money to create music, right? But now you get all this done and you want to sell it, and the world just takes it for free. So now you can't recreate again.
So RZA was saying that the music business has rebalanced, right? With digital streaming. But I don't know if he's talking about digital downloads or from music streaming. Let's just say digital downloads, because that's what really, when Apple came into play and was like, okay, you know what? We see what's happening with all this, with P2P sharing, people sharing. You know what? This is what we're doing. Just like how you like taking individual songs because you like them, this is what we're going to offer you. And lo and behold, iTunes, right? So iTunes, you could buy a song for $1 and then, you can have that music. Or you could just have a couple songs from the album. You only like 6 songs out of a 12-song album. All you have to do is take the 6 songs. So balance started to happening in that aspect. And even at that time, I was thinking, you know what? That's great. That's beautiful. Me as a consumer, that's what I'll do. I want to support the artist because at the time, of course, I was an artist myself. I didn't want artists to get robbed. So I would buy albums with digital downloads. Now, all of a sudden, music streaming came into play. And I was like, whatever. So I'm still doing digital downloads. And all of a sudden, people kept talking about it in the magazines. This is the new thing. Oh my God, this is a new thing. If you just spend $10 a month, you can have access to all music. And I was like, huh? Whatever. Even before I knew what it was per stream, what it would cost or what they would pay artists per stream, I still was like, whatever, man. I'm still getting the music that I want right here. I can create playlists right on Apple iTunes. I mean, it is what it is. I'll buy them. I'm still buying the music. I didn't see that the way that it was at the time as far as digital downloads as if it was broken. I didn't think it was broken. I just thought, hey man, I'm using this right now. Why are we even introducing music streaming? Okay, maybe it's another thing, whatever. But then music streaming came into play, and who says, I don't know, it's not like the people in my neighborhood were saying that let's do music streaming instead of digital download. Nobody was talking about it. The industry was talking about it. And then all of a sudden, to me, it's almost like manufactured consent on trying to get the masses on board of music streaming. So now, with music streaming really taking a hold of the industry, you were saying what it takes to record an album is crazy. So if you get a guest A-list artist or B-list artist, depending on how, famous they are at the time, you could get them for $20,000. And then you got to pay for studio sessions. And you got to pay musicians, whether they're playing a guitar, piano, whatever. And then you got to buy the music software and the laptops and the equipment, all these things that goes into making a record, just music in general. It costs money. But then artists start seeing, now we started to break it down, magazines started coming out with, wait a second, how much are artists getting paid off of music streaming? And there are several good articles that details what the revenue stream would be when it comes to artists making money off of music streaming. And they say, this is not fair. Who's supposed to be making money off of this? So now, in this sense, I understand where RZA is coming from. I get it. I'm with it. Right? How I can't make a record for $50,000, $100,000, and then I'm only making a fraction of a penny on per stream. And remember what Tyrese said. I don't know who is making these numbers, right? I don't know who's saying. They're saying, if I remember correctly, Tyrese said you have to get 1,100 spins in order to be recorded as one CD sale and one LP sale, one album sale. You have to get 1,100 people to listen to you in order to be recorded as one. What? Who is making this up? Who the hell is making this up? And who said, and it's the same thing that goes in, oh, this artist went platinum off of streaming. How? What are the parameters? Well, give me the numbers here. Give me some structure. Off of music streaming? So how many times do I have to listen to a RZA song or any Wu song for it to qualify as one listen from my household? That's crazy. There is no boundary. Look, if you buy a CD for $12.99, boom, $12.99, and break it up from there. Record company, artist, road manager, people, all that. There was no way. You can't go beyond that $12.99 per CD. Now with music streaming, and someone's telling you, well, really, you're gonna have to spend about 2,000 times for one album. What? For me to get money? What the fuck? It's ridiculous. So then let's go into this next clip of what Joe was saying on how to support artists.
But if you're a fan, what's the best way to support What's the best way to support Wu-Tang Clan? What's the best way to support? Is it Apple Music? Like, what is the best way? iTunes?
Now everything is found this way. In other words, if you could stream
Streaming's good.
Yeah, you could stream it.
Spotify's good.
You could download it directly to your phone. If you
but if you were going to give directions to fans, like what's the best way to support Wu-Tang Clan? What's the best way to accumulate music, acquire music?
I mean, if I just put it in
They're all good now, like streaming?
Yeah, I think it's balanced. Let me say this to you.
RZA comes back with that sound. I'm like, nah, man. With music streaming? Nah, you just said that artists was getting played before. Now you're saying that it's balancing now with music streaming? No, it's not. Artists are still getting raped. Again, it does not work for say, I like to call them blue-collar working artists. The artists that are B-list, C-listers, the artists that is a good portion of the industry, only, they're not going multi-platinum. Redman never went multi-platinum. Redman was consistently gold. Okay? He was consistently gold. Now, if we go by these new rules of music streaming, how the hell he's supposed to make money? So I don't think RZA had enough time to think this one out. you know, before you went on Joe Rogan, to really answer that question with heft. The meat and potatoes to break it down to him. I don't think so. I think, and then another thing when he said, I think in this clip right here, let me see if I can play this one.
Look, music is, the second thing, the catch-22 here, Joe, is this.
Okay.
Now, music is also made to be heard.
Yes.
So, while at one point I try to prove a point by saying, look, I'm going to put a value on it so you know there's a value to it because there's a value to me. But then on the other point, right, I put another album out called A Better Tomorrow, which is like, yo, do what you want with that. You know how come? Because I don't make music for me to listen to. I make it for the world to listen to it at the same time. So the best way to support your artist is just by listening to the music. All right?
I just, it hits, I don't understand. Really, I'm sorry if I'm stuttering, but I really don't understand because it's kind of like this. Why would I make a suitcase that cost me $50 to make? Okay, for me to just give it away. I don't think the best way to support artists is by doing that. I'm sorry. It's not just to listen to for free. No, man. If I'm making a suitcase, I want people to buy it. I'm making a damn good suitcase. It's state of the art. It's nice. Matter of fact, there was one where they got those suitcases that follow people in the airport. Right? I do all this high technology stuff just to give it away. I'm not, man, this is capitalism. This is what we're doing. I'm selling a product or service. My product is my music. I'm giving it to you. I would like for you to pay me for it. Pay me for it. You like listening? That's great. You know what? Here it is for X amount of dollars. And then let's go listen to this clip.
If I was a fan, right? If I was a fan and I had the money to spend, you know, I would definitely, you know, I would buy the vinyl, right? Why?
Okay.
Because it's tangible.
Right.
Like,
It's so funny because that makes
CD.
sense.
Why? Because it's tangible.
Yeah, it's tangible.
I'm spending money.
Right.
Okay?
You get a physical object.
Yeah, physical for physical.
Especially a record. Like, you buy the vinyl, there's a commitment.
Yo, that's so funny that you said it because I know people of certain blah, 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 that blah, blah, blah. It's like this. Oh, shit. They want audio rights to something so they can put it on vinyl. And then the value is the history, the story. Like, a motherfucker want a vinyl Wu-Tang because it's art. Just like with the one joint, it's art.
Art, brother.
And like you said, we talking about it earlier. It's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go to clubs or anything like that and the DJs like that, but the act of collecting something and take home with you.
So tangible.
Remember CDs? CDs is like, this technology is about to die. Why would I buy this CD? Because it has a booklet. Remember?
Yeah.
The booklet?
It's something tangible with
albums.
it.
That was a big part of what albums were, was the artwork.
Yeah, it was the artwork. And CDs.
Artwork, you could put your weed on it.
Yes.
Yeah. And those CDs, you bring your weed up. Those
Cheech
CDs,
and
you like
Chong.
this. Oh, shit, I got this
Big
album.
Bamboo.
So now they're offering, hey, what about vinyl? And we have Donnell talking about, hey, vinyl, you know, adding on his 2 cents. Vinyl would be great. Vinyl would be great. What is he talking about? I don't understand what he's talking about. Vinyl? Nobody has vinyl, man. If it's like a one-time thing or a special release and they're going to add in a vinyl that you could put up on your wall just as a piece of art, yeah, I can respect that. I like that. That's cool. But you can't offer people vinyl on the regular. What is he talking about? I don't even have a CD drive anymore in my laptops. These laptops don't even have CD drives. It's all solid state. That's like Trump saying that he's going to let the economy rebound by getting the coal miners back to work. What is he talking about? What are they talking about? Yo, shut that shit down, man. We in a new age where people are sharing things digitally. People have access. Go with the technology, man. Now, one thing I did like what they did say was the artwork is part of the liner notes. Remember those? The CDs I said before, you open it, you can pull out the little pamphlet and you can look through the pictures of everything that they, you know, whatever art things that artists wanted to share with you, whether their time in the studio or things that they've seen along their travels of making this record. I love that. And I wanted to know where they were, I said on the show, where they did the recording at, who's the engineer, who the musicians are part of it, who played the piano, who did the trumpet, you know what I mean? Who did the background singing. I like to know these things because as a musician or a person in the industry, I don't know if I could bump into them later. You don't know if you could reach out to them and say, hey, man, it's great. I think that was the greatest disservice to the artist community by not sharing who they're working with to put it together a record. That has to come back. And they did that at one point as far as because people were asking for it, but then somehow it disappeared. Man, I want that back, man. I want the liner notes in there. Make that be a part of the artist experience if I'm going to buy another Wu record. I'm just saying. Or any artist for that matter. Come on, man. Let's stop this foolishness. Music streaming. Now, this is what I say. Music streaming. I'm not saying take away music streaming. I'm not saying that. I don't know what I'm saying, but let's just say, to me, music streaming should be down C on the list as far as revenue streams is concerned. I think, and I'll say this, and I have to do self-plug, Lyfeblood.com has the answer. My company. Offer music to people. Offer it to them and ask them, hey, listen, I'm doing this music. Can I get, for you to give me $2.99 a month? $2.99 a month to your favorite artist. You don't think somebody's going to give $2.99 to Sade a month during the release of her record when she's touring for about 7-8 months? Of course. They're going to do it. They love Sade. Trust me, people will do it. It's the same thing they would do for Metallica or the same thing they would do for, I don't know, Migos. And the same thing they would do with Cardi B. They do it, man. They want to support the artist. Sometimes artist support goes beyond the fans. It goes beyond the money part. They just want to be involved in their world. And if you ask your fans to say, hey, give me $2, even if your fans would give you $1, an A-lister will make more money, make a whole lot more money than they would music streaming. Whole lot more money. Now, if you get an artist like Snow the Product that she does her thing religiously. She's on the grind. She's on tour doing her thing. City to city, state to state. All she has to do is ask her fans, hey, man, I put this record together. Yeah, there's music streaming over there, but we know music streaming is not the only way to make money and the only way for me to give you the music that I would like to give you if you support me by giving me $1.99 per month while I'm pushing this record. She stands a whole lot more on making money. She stands a whole lot more on making money through the Music Life feature on Lyfeblood.com by her fans giving her $1.99 a month while she's touring to the 200,000 fans. Forget the world, the population. Just 200,000 fans. She stands a whole lot more opportunity to make money doing that than it is the music streaming. Music streaming ain't the business, man. That's rapage on the artists. The companies that has that platform set up, they're making $10 per fan or per music listener. They're making billions a year. And what are you making? Fractions of a penny per spin. And then somebody pulls it out of their asshole to tell you it takes 2,000 spins to get one official spin or sell, quote unquote, of an album, equivalent of an album, what it was when it was vinyl or CD. That's ridiculous, man. That's why artists. Now, I'm not asking artists to mope. Don't mope. Adjust, adapt. You're the one that make the money for the music industry. Adjust, adapt. Look for people that's willing to work with you. You're like, hey, man, I'm not making money. Don't run for the hills. The music business is not going anywhere. I said last week on the show, what was it? Billions of dollars. They even went up like 15% from 2017 to 2018. The money being made is still being made. So get in there. If we know the artists control their music, if we know that record labels went from what we understand them to be to now digital labels, services is what they call them now. because they know the landscape has changed because of the technology and because the artists know the power that they have. They had to adapt. Understand your goddamn power, man. You control it. So make the technology where you can get a better part of the pie. I'm not saying cut people totally out, but you have to have a more equitable system in order for you to make money. Wake up, man. So, I like to, again, shout out Joe Rogan and RZA and Donnell for having a conversation on Joe's show. But it has to be said. And Joe was trying to say that by saying, okay, where can we give money to Wu-Tang in order for them to get better? But it wasn't being said in the right way. So that's what inspired this conversation. So anyway, hard, bro, hard. So anyway, we're gonna get into to the next group of artists. We got That Young Lad with his new EP called Decoy. That song is called Sun Song. That Young Lad, his new EP Decoy. The name of that song on that EP Decoy is Sun Song. And right up behind him is Mind of Chris Rita. No Bad Vibes from the Beach. The Mind of Chris Rita, that's the name of the brother, not Chris Rita. The Mind of Chris Rita. With No Bad Vibes from the Beach, man. Go ahead and check these two songs out. All right.
Oh man, check this out. We're going in with another one. It's on GCOM Radio.
While y'all play with the newest technology, that's when I'm mastering ancient astrology. Oh, and mathematics, you can hear it in my voice. This shit is adding up. Turn my speakers up. We don't give a fuck, y'all is out of luck. Y'all the runners up, the scoreboard running up. To a degree to be higher than a motherfucking sun. Said you know I'm on fire, and you know I never run like we run it. We really run it. I swear to God, these people judges, they really judge us. And honestly, this shit appealing, it's real appealing. And honestly, y'all didn't notice, they really villain. Ow. You reach for the hammer, I reach for the grammar. You act like a bitch, so I call you Sandra. You throw a tantrum over an anthem. I go get pampered and don't need an answer. I don't need a reason to express myself like this is my meaning, like this is my purpose, and with it I flourish, without it I perish and end up at service without any worship. I see that you laughing, but you should be nervous. Overstock lyrics and surplus with the flavor of a turban, and it's spicy like some curry. No, I'm never ever worried. Oh, honestly, I never honor this flow. Honestly, this the Geronimo flow. Honestly, y'all fall like dominoes. Oh, now it's time to go. This is abominable. They be playing with the newest technology. All the people is different ancient astrology.
Listen up. Turn up. You're listening to GCOM Radio.
While y'all play with the newest technology, that's when I'm mastering ancient astrology. Oh, and mathematics, you can hear it in my voice. This shit is adding up. Turn my speakers up. We don't give a fuck. Y'all is out of luck. Y'all the runners up. The scoreboard running up. To a degree that be lower than the motherfucking ocean. Go and get the Henny, maybe gin, mix the potion. Go and get a couple bag of tree, now we flowing. Go and ask yourself for your heart and your devotion. Where the fuck it laying? What's it doing every day? Had done that shit react when your vision see the play. Do you call a full hand? See you bluffing it away? Cause you had an open look, but you take it selfish trays. Those the wicked ways that you can't escape with the path you pave. Ooh, hey, I ain't got time to shoulder, I ain't got time to show ya. I got time for Doja, I got time to go and get my shit a poster. Every day, you know we rolling up by Ocha. I'ma do it real simple, elementary. I gotta let it flow, trickle, come and peep the stream. It sounded like an innuendo, PG-13. Is he serious or just blowing steam? It's 100 stacks multiplied by facts and not divided by your selfish acts. You go tick for tack, not concerned with that. I got more interest in the beats and play.
Oh my God. I want to hear more. GCOM Radio.
I've been on my way out West Coast. Shit. Enjoy the good vibes and smoke a little bit. With a pretty little thing on my side. And all we do is fuck away the bad vibes. I know you wish that you could really be here right now. But you ain't play your part to be here right now. And I don't give a fuck how you feel right now. I don't give a fuck. I just know I gotta keep it real right now. Right now. From here on, I promise I don't fuck with you. My new bitch don't fuck with you. Tell a nigga that you're stuck with. I feel bad that he's stuck with you, oh my God. You're a bad vibe.
Yeah, that was Young Lad with his song Sun Song on his EP Decoy. And right behind him was Mind of Chris Rita with No Bad Vibes from the Beach. Now, let me tell you, it's funny that the R&B cats are coming out with these esoteric, phrases as names. So, you got The Weeknd. That was, that's, the Canadian dude, The Weeknd. I'm like, what? It's The Weeknd? But, I'm like, you named yourself? Okay, whatever. And then it's Party Next Door. Party Next Door. He came out with some eggs. I'm like, oh, that's your name too? So I guess that's a new trend now where we're going to have like esoterics names that are really, what do you call it? Not specific. They're more like symbolisms, name symbolisms. So, shout out to Mind of Chris Rita, man. Much props to you. Much success in the music business and much success to Young Lad too. So before we get into the final third segment, we got to go with the news you need to know. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
A new strain of HIV. It seems there may be a new strain or a resurfacing of an old one. Scientists have had this particular strain for some time, but decided it needed a subgroup. This strain has been sitting in an icebox since 2001. The only thing that changed was the means of detecting the strain, which has improved since then. Confused? Okay, so HIV is actually two viruses, HIV-1 and HIV-2. The vast majority of cases are HIV-1, which progresses into AIDS. HIV-2 is mainly in West Africa and supposedly poses less of a threat. HIV-1 is broken into 4 groups, and within those groups, HIV strains can be categorized into subgroups. This quote-unquote new strain has been spotted several times since 1983. A virus has to be detected on 3 separate occasions to be officially recognized. It's important to keep track of these viruses because they can have different effects on the human body. Also, it's a way to keep tabs on the HIV-positive blood in the global donor supply. Meg Doherty, the World Health Organization's coordinator, says, quote, while interesting, this discovery is unlikely to have major public health implications at this time. Existing medicines should be effective against this new strain. And as there have only been a handful of such cases observed among people living with HIV, it should not be a cause for worry, unquote. Ex-New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg says he's wrong. As we all know, ex-Mayor Michael Bloomberg is running for presidential election 2020 within the Democratic Party. During a speech at a megachurch, the Christian Cultural Center in Brooklyn, he admitted to many wrongdoings overseeing crime while mayor of New York. Stop and frisk was a police enforcement tactic that had 575,000 stops in 2009. And in 2011, there were 684,000 stops. Out of all of those numbers, 87% were Black and Latino. Even while receiving protests from many local community organizations and citizens, Bloomberg continued with the program. As the stop and frisk program was eventually considered unconstitutional and slowly decreased under his successor, Mayor Bill de Blasio, crime rates continued to plunge equal to levels of the 1950s. Bloomberg states, I quote, over time, I've come to understand something that I long struggled to admit to myself. I got something important wrong. I got something important really wrong. I didn't understand back then the full impact that stops were having on the Black and Latino communities. I was totally focused on saving lives, but as we know, good intentions aren't good enough. Activist and writer Sean King rebutted his statement saying, quote, after years of running the apartheid-like policy of stopping and frisking millions of people of color throughout New York City, and then defending it every day in office, then every day he was out of office up until this week. Michael Bloomberg now admits he was wrong. Sean King continues, you defended it for a whole generation. Now you know you need black votes, and you have a change of heart, unquote. Michael Bloomberg's team has made steps to file for the primary ballot and outlined a strategy for the race. Also, he plans to spend $100 million on digital ads for key general election battleground states. Another player has entered the game. And that is the news you need to know. All right. Yeah, man. That was interesting. As far as the AIDS part, I never knew the AIDS there was the different types and categories and subcategories. I never knew. And then, how's it a different strain of AIDS in Africa? I find that interesting. I'll look into that a little more down the line. Anywho, let's get into the Cirque segment. And because I guess this show is about talking about other people that I see, I guess this show is about this segment is going to be on T.I. and his daughter. And I know everybody know what is going on here. You already heard about this enough times, but I just want to give my 2 cents on how I feel about T.I. because it was brought to my attention that T.I. made this, and it would be a good topic to talk about. Now, as a father, I thought when I heard that, I was like, oh, T.I., you bugging, brother. Man, love the T.I., man. Love what he's about. Supporting the people. You know what I mean? From in the music and outside the music. Always like to do it like that because everybody's going to say he hating. He's saying all these things and he's trying, nah, man, I'm doing this out of love. Shout out to my man T.I. But your ideas and how you feel that your daughter should be treated as she's coming of age is needs some updating, my brother. It's archaic, man. It's old. To hover over your daughter, so you want to make sure that you can keep her from not having sex too prematurely. Look, I'm with you, bro. I am totally with you. I don't want my daughter to be having sex underage. No. As Chris Rock said, the one duty a father should have, the one duty, is to keep his daughter off the pole. That's the one duty. Keep your daughter off the pole. Now we not talking about stripping. We talking about making sure they don't have premature sex. That's the other duty. Because we ain't trying to hear no stories on saying, Daddy, I have something to tell you. I'm pregnant. Head is exploded. What? Who is this motherfucker? My dad's out there. You know what I'm talking about. Who this? Who this motherfucker detaining my daughter? Yeah, man. Yeah, I know, man. I feel it right here. I feel it. Because you know why? We dudes, we know what we did when we were younger. We weren't always right, but we matured. As we have kids and we say, oh, man, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, man, why did I do that? Okay, I don't want that happening to my daughter. All right. So that being said, brother, you don't have to do that. You don't have to hover over your kid and set up appointments at the gynecologist to see that her hymen was intact. It's a little far-reaching. It's a little overreaching. Let me tell you, sometimes psychologically it could work in reverse. So if you put so much pressure on your daughter to make sure that she doesn't have sex prematurely, all of a sudden when she does get out there, she's gonna start wilding. It's been done time and time and again. You can't do that. Now, that being said, let's flip into that other subject as far as the hymen concerned. And I knew about that hymen for a little bit. I didn't know before. I thought the hymen, once you break the hymen, then that's an indication that a woman is having sex. But, as you grow and you do reading, you find out that hymen has nothing to do with sexual activity. They say sometimes the hymen can be worn away from out of maturity as a woman comes into her adulthood, that it could go away from gym activity, tampon use, or masturbation. And discomfort on that first time of having sex has nothing to do with the hymen breaking. All right. It's something that, it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's some kind of thin membrane that's there in their younger years, but it slowly starts to deteriorate after activity, and it may be a little U-shaped piece of flesh material or whatever that may stay over. But then again, as I said before, it may, go away, I guess. That's not the word I want to use, but it kind of can deteriorate. and get worn away from all those other activities. So hymens are really not a determining factor of finding out if your kid's having sex. So that's like been thrown out. That's a myth. It's been thrown out. You can't use that anymore. But, I understand how you feel, man. I understand how you feel. And my thing is, as I said before, let me start. As I said before, you got to talk to your daughter, man. You had to talk to your daughter, know how, on your feelings about her not having sex. Talk to her about the responsibility of having sex at the right time when she's ready. Talk to her about the good and bad of sexual activity, STDs, having emotional feelings tied to a young boy. Dude, let me tell you something. Even as I'm speaking to you right now, the blood is rising. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Can't believe after this. But that's what we have to do as dads, man. And my kid's a lot younger than yours, so you're in a different stage. But I know that at some point I'm going to have to deal with it myself. And I'm going to have to tell my daughter about boys and how boys are how they're wired and differently from girls. And what they're going to be set out to do. That could be, to me, and this is my own personal belief, something that's innate, something that, boys, the male species, is wired to do. And they're gonna go through all these they're gonna go through puberty, and they're gonna have all these biochemical reactions within them, and they're gonna have urges, and they're gonna try it. And I'm gonna tell my daughter what she needs to know about that, and the wait when the time is right. Now, personally, I would like my daughter to wait until she's like of age, like 18 or something, probably 35, to have sex. But I know she's going to do it when she's ready. And I'm not going to be there when she makes a decision with some other young man to have sex. It could be 16. It could be 15. I don't know. But the best thing I could do is give her my daughter the honest opinion and guide her about sexual activity. And that is a personal thing. It's a sacred thing. It's something that she should hold on to for someone that she feels is special to her. And she shouldn't throw it around frivolously. And keep to it. Now, as she gets older, she has to make a decision what she wants to do, and how frequently and with whoever she wants. But that's her decision to make, and to understand the consequences of that. And always protect herself emotionally and physically as well, and to know when even when it comes to her saying no, that it's a no to the other person, and she should be able, or that person should be able to understand that and receive that. Now, if that motherfucker don't, she could fucking cut his balls off, or fucking cut his throat from ear to ear. I swear to you, yeah, folks, you think I'm playing? Yes. If that motherfucker don't know how to act, that's why my daughter's going to martial arts now, be able to cut that motherfucker from ear to ear. If she says no and he keeps pushing and she's in that situation, which we're all too familiar with when it comes to rape. And I tell you this, if it's my daughter, motherfucker, I forget everything. You understand me? Everything I don't give a damn where I'm at in life. The motherfucker gonna catch it. And I'm saying everything on guard. I know they're gonna go back to this and be like, well, Mr. Such and Such, you said you would do that, so you're a prime suspect. Hey, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. The motherfucker gonna catch it. I don't give a damn. That especially goes for R. Kelly and that fucked up motherfucker. Let me tell you something. Because my wife is watching this R. Kelly. Oh my God. I watch partial. I can't watch all the whole thing. But let me tell you something. If I know a motherfucker holding my daughter hostage for whatever reason, and there was that one scene where the parents was calling to the kid and they thought they saw movement in the window and they was shouting out saying, we love you, I love you. Hell fucking no. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Right now, you don't know what I'm gonna be getting into later on in life. Boy, I tell you right now, boy, I tell you now, boy. It was Let me tell you, I am blasting down doors. I ain't screaming from no goddamn ground floor. That motherfucker, I'm blowing them doors, bro. I'm going to know somebody going to put together something and be like, blow the door. I don't give a fuck. Give me a police battering ram. We breaking down this door, and I'm going to go and find my daughter. I'm getting my daughter. I don't give a goddamn who you are. I don't care who you are. This door is getting knocked the fuck down, and I'm going down there like I'm SWAT. I'm going to have my peoples right behind me, 4 or 5 of them, and you know how we're going to go in there, all right? But I ain't yelling for a goddamn from no window. Oh, honey, please, we love you. We love you. Please come down. Fuck no. I tell you, boy. I ain't here. I'm going to give you one. I'm like, Mr. Kelly, I got a warning. My daughter up there, I see some movement. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to open up this door downstairs. If you do not open it up in 10 seconds, I am coming in. Whether you like it or not, if you do not want to get hurt, or any other collateral damage up in this domicile, you will open this door. You got 5 seconds. Make a decision. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boosh! I'm blowing this motherfucking door, bro. Crazy? And I'm going up in there, and I'm like, where the bodyguards? And I don't know what's going to happen after that. But it's at that point I go to jail. Because a nigga not going to have my daughter and hold her hostage under any circumstances for only sexual reasons. I don't care if she said, but I love him. What? Hell no. Hell to the no. Man. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all don't know. Anyway. So, I'm going to get up on out of here. Thank you guys for listening to me. You know what to do. I said Lyfeblood.com before. We're going to work out some details in the coming weeks. Probably in January in the new year. I'm not going to be around for December because it's the holidays. And I'm going to hang out with some family and do all those sort of things. So I think the last show is going to be like the first week of December or something like that. And then I'll come back in January. I'll give you guys some details, the specific dates then. But yeah, I'm gonna close out. But go to Lyfeblood.com, like I said. Music Life is a part of that. I will give you more details as far as how to get set up with that. I spoke about it before, but I want to make sure all my ducks in a row when I do start to speak to some people in the business. Sign up. It's just not about music. It's about you living your passion. As if you're a botanist, if you're a microbiologist, if you're an inventor, if you want to start an architectural firm, if you want to be a baker or any of that sort, I think we have to find alternative forms of financial access. And that financial access is going to be through the network with people like you and me and your neighbor. And that's the only way where you're going to find some sort of financial freedom. And you could talk with them and share with them your pictures and video and all that and show people what you're about and that you are building yourself up to be the best person that you can be. Live your best life. And that's all becoming a lifer on Lyfeblood.com. So I'll give you those details as we go on. And I do appreciate you signing up and being part of it. Reach out to me on my IG. That's at Lyfeblood, or GCOM Radio. That's GCOM_radio. And you could also get at me on my Twitter account at Lyfeblood, LYFEBLOOD, or Lyfeblood Runs Thick on my Facebook page. But if you want to get at me, you can either email me or just reach out to me on IG. So I do appreciate you guys listening and hearing me go on and on and on. So I'll see you guys next week. And peace, love, and hair grease. We out. All right.
Check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go round. From right here to your town. We out.